All right, I am here with David Azizi from the law offices of David Azizi, and we have discussed a few different types of car accidents as it relates to fires and explosions. And David actually brought up a case that I found very interesting as it relates to a food truck. And it's interesting because food trucks have become extremely popular over the last 5 to 10 years. They've had food trucks for decades, but they've really grown in interest over the last 5 to 10 years, where there's food truck rodeos now, and food trucks are outside of establishments and buildings. But David actually has an interesting case in which or a grease and frying oil was actually leaked out of the food truck. So David, what exactly happened in that accident?
Well, in this particular accident, we had a client of us who were husband and wife, and the husband would lease the food truck from a company that's, here in LA, there's a lot of food trucks around, but from my understanding, most of the food trucks that are operated kind of like our taxis. You know what I'm saying? There's a company that generally owns all the food trucks, has the licenses for the food trucks for certain locations, and then they lease out these food trucks to certain people who drive out to these particular locations and provide the food, and the leasing company gets a benefit or they get a payment for leasing that food truck. Well, as part of leasing that food truck, they also agreed to provide all the equipments that this particular food truck needs to be equipped with, including but not limited to a frying bin where, for example, you fry French fries or whatever you can put your mind into as to whether you can fry. This particular food truck, the leasing company had gone ahead and instead of putting the proper metal basket that would be put in these frying bins, because it's a mobile vehicle, they had just put the regular type that you see at the restaurants with the handlebar going straight without a bend in it, so that this particular door for the frying bin could close. So unfortunately, what happened was our client on the particular day had been told by the leasing company to take another person with them on a route for that person to see if he wants to purchase the subject lease of that food truck. And as you could imagine, these food trucks only have 2 seats in the front. So our client was left to have to stand in the back while the vehicle was moving from one location to another location. Unfortunately, in the process of going from one location to another location, there was another vehicle that ran a red light and collided in this food truck. As you could imagine, it was a very forceful impact, and as a result, majority of the oil from this frying bin just poured on this poor lady who was the wife of this guy and just burned her entire body. And unfortunately, burn injuries, I think, are one of the worst injuries that somebody can sustain, among other severe injuries, because it's a permanent scar. It requires plastic surgery depending on how severe the burn, and skin grafting and things of that nature. And unfortunately, once you sustain those burn injuries, there's risk of cancer. So you got to always wear a certain type of sleeves to protect your arm if you go out in the sun and things like that. So it was really unfortunate. But the good news was we were able to go after the leasing company and establish that they were at fault for putting the wrong basket and equipping that vehicle or the food truck with the wrong basket, thereby causing this severe injury to occur.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, it is a very bad situation, but if you have been in any type of burn injury or have been in any type of accident where there is a burn injury, please feel free to contact the law offices of David Azizi. You will find the phone number both above in the YouTube video as well as below in the info. Thank you for your time, David.
Thank you.